chapter 9, we saw yesterday, Ananya chintayanto mam ye janaha paripasate tesam nityavijuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. This sloka is most important sloka. One should by heart it, and at the time of ultimate helplessness, this sloka helps us. Think of him, he will take care of you. This assurance is given by the Lord to all the devotees, and this is the armor for a devotee. One should by heart it. On the other hand, this is a mantra of mantras. This leads you to ultimate surrender. By that it destroys your ego, and thereof it destroys the chitta, the subconscious mind also. Dependence on the absolute Lord, depending on none else other than the absolute. So there is guarantee card, there is assurance, life insurance. He takes care of everything. He supplies the needs. He protects your belongings. What else you need? This is how we have to depend upon God, and having full faith, unshaken belief and devotion on the absolute Lord. Yesterday we were talking of the one-pointed devotion. They think of me only with singleness of purpose and one-pointed devotion. They behold nothing but the Lord. They love Him in all creatures. When they lead such a life, the Lord takes the whole burden on securing gain and safety for them upon them Himself. We are discussing about the body of whatever belongs to the devotee. It is God's belonging. So the body of a devotee also is considered to be body of the absolute God. That is what we saw from the story of Bandhuman yesterday, who was beaten and God was beaten. He showed the body with beatings. And the story of our Namdev, he saw the Lord in every being. The dog became the Narayan, God. All these are not stories. They are the real occurrence. It is collected by the stories of the life histories of the devotees. Today, yesterday I had no time, so today we shall see another great devotee's life history. How God takes all the responsibilities of the devotee. There was a very great rich man. It is about 200 years ago. There was a great rich man in Calcutta. He had endless wealth. What he had done in the last lives, nobody knows, but he had everything in this world. The wealth and the family members, they are so devoted, they are so good charactered people. Everybody was dutiful, everybody was engaged in their duties, and they had mutual understanding, love, and cooperation among the family members. So the family was quite ideal family. Everything was there for them. But yet nobody can help the old age and inability of the body after some time. The head of the family, that rich man, became old and he was unable to walk. He used to sit all the time in a easy chair, and so sitting all the time, he has to chant the name of the God, nothing, there is no other work. And he had servants and helpers everywhere, everything is available to him. So he used to sit calmly because he cannot move freely, and go on chanting the name of God continuously and think of Lord only. Whatever he needs, the family people used to give him. Servants were there, and he had a personal servant to look after his bodily needs. So the name of the servant was Gopal, and the rich man has the name Gopal always to chant. Manan. For Manan, the name of Lord Krishna, Gopal, was very favorable very choiceable for the rich man. He was very devoted to Lord Krishna, always chanting Gopal, 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 with feelings and full of devotion. He used to chant Gopal only mentally. Go on chanting Gopal. Continuous. This is in Japa Yoga, this is called Manan. Manan has got no rules and regulations. You can chant God's name mentally without any following any rules and regulations, and to remember God's name there is no rules, no regulations. Anywhere, at any condition, at any time, you can chant God's name. But if you chant, if you do japa, repetition of the mantra of Lord, your favorite deity, with all the rules and regulations, that means japa has got some rules and regulations. You have to take bath, you have to purify your body, physical body, and then you have to sit in a particular posture, not to move from the posture, and then you have to purify your mind. So you have to do a little pranayam, so the mind is purified, And then you have to follow other rules, anganyas, karanyas, and dhyan, meditation on the form of your deity, and then start japa with one pointed mind. Then japa has success. But these cannot be followed rigidly for longer time. Generally people do japa in the morning, in the evening, sometimes when they get little time in between. The great devotees, they do japa, and japa has got its very good effect on the mind, body, everything. But manana has got no rules, no regulations. It itself is enough. Manana means chanting any name you like most, chanting the name of your deity mentally, but don't change it. One name. So that becomes support for the mind, and mind becomes one pointed on the name itself. And of course it doesn't give so much effect as the japa, but according to japa and manan, this is called manan, they have some demarcating lines, some comparative lines. One japa is equal to 9 mananas. One japa, whatever result you get, it is equal to 9 times of manan, the same result will be achieved. So most of the devotees, they go on doing manan day and night. There is no rule, no regulation while walking, eating, sleeping, talking also. We can do all the works, but mind is engaged in remembering the name. It goes on. And this is called also continuous japa, ajapa japa. And mostly people select the name Om, it is easy, or Soham, that is also easy. It can go on with the breathe. But our Sethji, our rich man, selected Gopal because the name was so liked by him. Gopal. Go means the real meaning of Gopal is one who is a protector of the body. Go means senses, indriyas. Go means the cows, cattle. Go means the window. Go has got different meanings in Sanskrit. So go also is known as the earth, go mukh, they say. In this way, go has got different meanings, but here go means the body and senses together. One who is the protector of your so-called identity. One who is purifier or protector, everything he is. So Gopal means you have surrendered to him. Everything, the body, mind, senses, everything belongs to him. He will take care. In this sense, Gopal word is selected. Govinda also, one who knows all these. Knows means becomes and protects everything. So, our Sethji used to chant Gopal name. And the name of the servant also was Gopal. So thereby, when he wants to call the servant, he is very happy to call Gopal, please come here, do this, do that. He will be always chanting the same name. And he used to see Lord in the servant also. He never misbehaved with the servant as a servant. And he was a great devotee. After some time, when he was too old, and the servant was very young, for some reason the servant Gopal asked the rich man, my lord, I want some few days. A day or two, it will be enough to go to my home, little away from the city, Calcutta, say about 25, 30 kilometers away in the rural villages. I got the information my old father is very ill. I have to go and see him and arrange medicines for him. And within a day or two I shall come back. The rich man said, yes, you can go. Gopal went on leave for 2 days. And he goes home, and there he saw his father is seriously ill. He started giving him medical help, but nothing doing. He became more and more serious because he was very old. And after a fortnight or a month, the old father passed away, Gopal's father. So he was the elder son, he was the only son, and very poor. That's why he had come to the city for earning little money. So he had to do all the rituals of the father. He was caught up in the house. And after that also there is nobody to look after the family. Little land, property, little, very little. And his wife was there, and small children, 1 or 2. He had to take care of everyone. Old mother also is there. So he could not come back to the rich man. Time passed. After 6 months, he got little time, and he arranged everything for a day or two, and then he got leave from the domestic affairs, and he comes to the city to report the rich man that I will be no more available to serve you. Please, whatever money, let us make balance. If I want to give you, I shall give. Or if you want to give me after getting the accounts, let us settle everything. He came to settle the accounts and take leave forever from the rich man. When he comes, he meets the rich man, he salutes him and prostrates before him, and with great sorrow, with folded hands, he says, "O great man, you have given me true love, compassion, and everything. I am very, very grateful to you. Please excuse me, I couldn't come. and I got some little time now. After so long period, I have come to settle our accounts, and please release from me from my duties. There is nobody in the house to look after. I have to look after the house. Little small family, I have to look after. All these words, they were something amazing for the rich man. What, Gopal? Have you gone mad? What are you blabbering? Huh? You just came after 2 days and you attend to your works, and now you are telling you have come after 6 months. What is this? Have you gone mad? Are you dreaming? What are you blabbering? The old man, the rich man could not understand what is Gopal telling, and Gopal could not understand what is the rich man telling. They could not understand each other, and they were sticking to their standpoint. After a long time of this discussion, you are blabbering. The servant says, no, you are misunderstanding. Maybe you have lost your memory. Something has happened to you because of old age. The rich man says, you are lying before me. You are all the time present here. So after a long time of discussions, the rich man recognized what is going on. Gopal, are you speaking the truth? Yes, my lord. Why should I lie? I was all the time in my home. I was taking care of the home, family, and I had to do all the rituals after passing away of my father, take information from our villagers. I am not lying. Why should I lie? Then the rich man recognized. He understood who was that Gopal, who was serving him in the absence of servant Gopal. He started weeping loudly, sobbing, and fell at the feet of the servant Gopal. Gopal, you have done a great thing to me. Because you are my servant, so he had to come as a servant and serve me. Because of you only, I got the closeness, physical closeness with Lord, but foolish am I. I could not recognize. I was bewildered by his elusive power. Oh, then he fell at his feet. He gave plenty of wealth. Whatever wealth you want, take. There is no scarcity here. Gave so much gold and money and everything, clothes, everything. Gopal, you cannot be a servant to me anymore. Enough. Because of you only I got the darshan of my Lord. But foolish as I could not recognize the Lord. And then he left chanting Gopal name. That was his climax of devotion. He left the chanting of Lord's name. No, I shall chant no more, or else you will come in that form. You will start serving me. What sin I am going to occur? Oh Lord, don't come to me as a servant. I will not chant your name. This is a true story, true occurrence. This incident happened about 200 years ago. Real stories, real stories. Such many stories are there. Everywhere, every moment, some miracles is going on. But we foolish people, we are unable to see all these, understand all these, how the Lord take care of His devotees. Such is His taking care. So, if one believes this, whether you believe it or not, this is the truth. So how can you depend upon others? How can you think of others? Such is love and promise of the Lord for His devotees. So this is why He says, Ananya chintayanto mam ye janaha paripasate tesam nityavijuktanam yogakshemam bahamyam. I take care of his belongings and I supply him his needs. This is not 100%, 1000% true to its meaning. God does it, but we foolish people, because we think of the worldly objects, worldly enjoyments, our mind is ever engaged in worldly affairs. We cannot see the miracles of the Lord every moment, everywhere is happening. So after that, Lord Krishna gives the further details of his difference in devotees. Jepyanya devata bhakta yajante sadhayanitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajanti abhidhi purvakam. One who worships me with one-pointed mind, without thinking of others, of course, I am ready for him in every sense to take care of him. But one who doesn't know me and doesn't chant my name, they don't surrender to me, but yet they have faith and devotion to some other gods. What will happen to them? They have faith and devotion. That is one part, one qualification. And the other qualification is one-pointed mind on me. They have one-pointed mind on others. So what will happen to them? That should be clarified. So God is clarifying. They will go to them. JP Anya devata bhakta bhajante yajante shraddhayanvita. They have shraddha, devotion and faith, and they worship other gods with one-pointed mind, but not me. What will happen to them? He says, "O Kaunteya, O Arjuna, they also they worship me alone, not directly but indirectly." This is what we were discussing yesterday. Also I gave the example. Akasat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaram kesavam pratigacchati. Even if you worship other gods with faith and devotion, one-pointed mind, whatever you worship, that indirectly goes to the absolute God, just as the raindrops fallen from the clouds, they get collected and reach the ocean, the absolute source of water. So he says, they worship me in ignorance. They don't know me directly, but indirectly they worship me only. Their mode of worship is contrary to the ancient rule. What is that ancient rule? We shall see. Hence, they return to this world. Of course, they worship me, but I don't take care directly. I take care through those gods. Indirectly, they worship me. I also take care of them indirectly. Whatever they need, I allow that much. So, they get only whatever they need from those demigods. That means some aspect of the nature. We have discussed what is the definition of such gods. It is said in our scriptures, there are 33 crores of gods. 33 crore devata hai. 33 crores of gods. They are subtle aspects of the nature, controlling different aspects of the nature, and they are of course powerful, more powerful than human beings, because human beings have limited powers because of the gross body, and gods have subtle body, so they have subtle powers. But there is a difference in power of different gods. Some are higher gods, some are lower gods, just as our government. Some government officials are very powerful, such as the governors of the states or chief ministers of the state, and prime minister of the country. He is all in all, but final is the president. In this way, different heads of the different departments, they are chief administrators, the judges, the ordinary judges, the Supreme Court judges, they have got different powers. In this way, different kinds of gods are there. And they are, of course, more powerful than human beings. And that's how for little powers, such ignorant human beings, they worship such gods according to their taste and needs. One who wants physical power, they worship Lord Hanuman. Huh? The authority of power, physical power, whatever he can do. One who wants to enjoy heavenly enjoyments, they worship Indra, the king of gods, or other important gods. Those who want wealth, they worship either Kuber or Lakshmi. Those who want the intellectual power, they worship Goddess Saraswati. In this way, different gods are capable of granting you different powers. So people who worship different gods for limited powers or limited physical needs or other needs, and they get it through those gods. And the ultimate truth, the absolute God, Supreme Brahman, He is the sanction authority. Indirectly it is sanctioned by the President only. Whatever grant is given to you, they are passed by the cabinet members, and then the Prime Minister will take it for sanction from the President. Final sanction authority is the President. But indirectly nobody knows. Ordinary people, they don't know what is going on in the governance, but they go to some departmental heads to get something. In this way, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna, Arjuna, they worship me in ignorance. Their mode of worship is contrary to the ancient rule, hence they return to this world. People worship Agni, fire god, Indra, the king of gods, Surya, the sun god, Varuna, the water god, the Vasus, the caretaker of different wealths. Even they attend me because I am everywhere. I am present in those gods. So indirectly they worship me alone. But their devotion is not pure. Pure means not one-pointed. Purity means one-pointed. Oneness. Don't forget it. Their intention is not pure means they know there are several gods. I want only little wealth, so I have to go to Lakshmi. So in this way, they have difference in mind. So their attitude is not pure. It is vicarious. Water should be given to the root and not to the branches to nourish the plant. Water, always we water the root, not the foliage, not the branches of the plant. If the root is satisfied, the whole tree must be and is satisfied. Even so, if I, the root of this world and all the gods, am satisfied, all the gods must be and are satisfied. Just as some person, some stranger comes to your family to please your family and get some favors. So he has to not go from member to satisfy, but if he is satisfied, the head of the family, the whole family is satisfied. Similarly, if the absolute God is worshipped, the whole world is satisfied and worshipped. Though the messages from the five organs of the knowledge reach the one consciousness, will it be right and useful to place a sweetmeat in the ear and a flower in the eyes? Senses are all the five senses of knowledge, they do the same thing. Information to the brain. So they are equal in position and perception. So should we put the food in the ear and flowers in the eyes? It is not so. Even a fool doesn't do this. And can you imagine what sort of fools we are who give up the highest authority and we worship the subordinates? And authority is not hard to reach. He is everywhere present, so easily available. Yet we are so foolish beings. And will it be right and useful to place a sweetmeat in the ear and a flower in the eyes? The function of eating must be done by the mouth only, and the function of the smelling by the nose alone. Therefore, I should be worshipped in my own name. In my own name, in my own aspect, that is all-pervasiveness, all-knowing, ever-present, everywhere, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. They should know me as the self of all beings. They should recognize me in other worships. They should recognize, if you have the feeling, I am worshipping only the highest God through these demigods, then of course you are directly worshipping Him. Just as you satisfy the representative of the president, you know you are satisfying the president only. This person is representative only. Instead of president, he has come to you. The messengers, you have to behave well with the messengers so that the authority will be satisfied. So in this way, if one has got the consciousness, awareness that he is worshipping the absolute only through these demigods, then that of course reaches the absolute directly. They should know me as the self of all beings. They should recognize me in other worship. I am the root, I am this world. So now telling this, now Lord Krishna will go to explain in what way, in what form he is mostly present in these subordinates, different gods and different higher aspects of the nature. He is present everywhere. So now he will start giving his vibhuti, the glories. Where is he available? Mostly. Ahami sarvajagyanam bhukta cha prabhureva cha natu mama vijananti tatvena atah chavantite. The foolish people, they don't know me. I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. Yagyam Purusa. I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. For I alone am the enjoyer and also the Lord of all sacrifices. But they do not know me in essence, in reality, and hence they fall. They fall means they fall from that height they achieve by sacrifices, from the enjoying place that is heaven. After the merits are over, then they have to come back to the worldly plane to earn more merits. They return to this world of mortality, that means the world, mortal world, the earthly plane. They do not know that I, the Supreme Self, am the enjoyer of all sacrifices, enjoined in the Vedas and the Smritis. The codes of right conduct are the Lord of all sacrifices. Achara prabhavo dharmaha. I am the Lord of all the good conducts, codes of right conduct. Achara prabhavo dharma, dharmasya prabhurachyutaha. It is to be practiced. By that, the Supreme Lord is satisfied. Why? Because it harmonizes all the law and order of the society, the nature. So nature is the power of the absolute working style. So when there is law and order, harmony in the nature, the Lord is satisfied. So it is said, Achara prabhavo dharma, source of dharma. Dharma, harmony in social law and order. That is called dharma. Dharmasya prabhurachyutaha. So the Lord is the receiver of this, enjoyer of the harmony. So he grants you whatever you like. As I am the inner ruler of this world, I am the Lord of all sacrifices. I am the presiding deity of the sacrifice. I am at the beginning and at the end of every sacrifice. And yet these people worship other gods. Therefore they worship in ignorance. They worship me with ignorance. As they worship other gods without recognizing me, and as they have not consecrated their actions to me, they have not offered the actions done by them to me directly, they return to the mortal world. after their merits are exhausted from the plane to which they had attained as the result of their sacrifices. I sometimes told you the story of King Pradyumna in the Satya era, Satya Yuga. He did thousands of sacrifices, so much so, continuously, the earth was burned into ashes and big pits were made by the sacrificial fire. So he had to change the places every now and then. Continuously he went on doing sacrifices for a pretty long time. And in the end, he could not get some stable platform to conduct sacrifices. So he searched for a tortoise whose hard shell of the back, on whose back he conducted yajnas for many years. And from that back of the tortoise, so much blood was oozing. It became a river of blood. The river is known as Mahinadi. In south it is there, and the water is very reddish till now. And the tortoise was very much annoyed, and after long time, when these merits of sacrifices was fructified, he was called to Brahmalok, the highest plane of our imaginary worlds, highest plane, where Brahma abides, the abode of Creator. And there he enjoyed those heavenly enjoyments for pretty long time, for ages. And then when the merit is over, that merit is measured by the kirti, name and fame of the person. As long as your kirti, your name and fame is there on the earth, so long you will enjoy in the higher planes. This is what the scriptures describe. Kirtir yasya sajivati, whose fame is here, he is ever alive. He enjoys the merits in the higher planes till then, as long as his fame is on the earth plane. So Pradyumna was discharged, he was thrown out from that level of consciousness, that level of different existence, Brahmalok. He was thrown out, go back to the mortal plane. And if you have yet some fame left over in the mortal plane, then you can come again, or else you have to again go for the merits. He came back in the human form. Of course, he didn't take birth, but he was allowed to recover, to revive. his lost fame and name, which seems to be lost in the earthly plane. So he comes and searches for the name. But long-living beings, many he met, but nobody could remember there was such king in the history named as Pradyumna. So in the end, from long-living beings, one to the other he goes, and he tries to revive his name, but no, here he could. But in the end he goes to Mansarovar, where some of the long-living beings said, there is a tortoise who is living since 56 yugas. He is a long-living being. Maybe he knows you. Let us go to him. He is the great long-living being. So all the group go to the tortoise, and the tortoise, having seen all this group, and Pradyumna in the form of human being, he could recognize that this fellow has come again to conduct sacrifices on my back. So he hid himself in the water. So these people, they said, oh, long-living being. Long-living being means you must be knowing all the rules and regulations, all the dharmas. So how can you ignore the guests and you hide yourself? Is it a right conduct? So he appears in a corner somewhere away from them. He says, no, no, I am afraid of you. You are not my guests. You are my enemies. So I am afraid of you, and I am hiding myself. I am afraid of that person standing there in your group. He is King Pradyumna. He has tortured me for ages, and now he has come to conduct yajnas over my back. I am afraid. I am not coming to him. So Pradyumna consoled him. I have not come for that, but I have come to revive my name. So now you know me, that is enough for me. So the moment he said, I know you, you are King Pradyumna, you did such yajnas over my backbone. The chariot came from the heaven, and the messengers, they came to take back Pradyumna to the plane again. But the story goes further, and all the long-living beings, they heard a chant there, and also the tortoise comes there, and all gave their life history. Somewhere the great crane, somewhere vultures, somewhere the snake, long-living being, and owl, the crane. All these are long-living beings, and they gave their history of life, how they are able to live such long time, but yet they are cast into such lower bodies. All these stories everyone narrated their life history to each other, and every story is most interesting. How merits make you something, and demerits at the same time you have to enjoy in different way. You may be long-living being just as Aswathama, but because of his wrongdoings, he is suffering till the whole life. As long as there will be sun and moon, Aswathama will not he is not going to die. He will live in the body, but he will suffer till then for his wrongdoings. Both together. So in this way, the story goes, very interesting story of the story of Indradyumna. So, what he means to say, those who are devoted to other gods, devoted to the other gods, and who worship me in ignorance, also get the fruit of sacrifice. But how they get the fruit of sacrifice? In according to their needs and their actions done in ignorance. So they are bound to come again and again to this mortal world, to this cycle of birth and death. So tomorrow we shall see further. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopimam. Who goes where? By the force of their action, good meritorious actions, or by demerits. How do they suffer or they enjoy? All these are some gross ideas of the karma theory. But in subtle ways, nobody knows what is the real reactions of every action. We shall see it further in Gita itself. God says, to its perfect sense, nobody knows what is the reaction of every action. So tomorrow we shall see further. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevamashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai. Hari